So we just got this big hot tub from Tropic Seas. It's the Tahiti. It's 9 feet in one direction, 7.5 in the other. So we have a cover lifter from Leisure Concepts. It's the Covermate Vanish XL. And the instructions for it are not great. So I am gonna go over some of the things that I learned today installing it. Step 1 on the instructions is to take this bracket and place it 11 inches from this spot in the back of the hot tub. So I used this quick square to bring it around away from this corner to get 11 inches right there. And then I place the bracket in place and I put this weight here so that once I get the glue on the bracket, I can just have one little spot and then bring it down to contact. That's my plan. On the other side, there's a handle here. And I don't think it's going to be very good to put the glue on top of the handle, so I'm going to cut this off. That way the glue will be on this part and this part, which will be a lot more stable. Here's the glue this thing came with. It's Scotch Weld's super fast instant adhesive, which is pretty intimidating. So what I did, I want to use as much glue as possible, but it's one bottle for two sides. So I marked the level at the top there, and then I measured down for half the bottle. Then I flipped it over, and I marked the top, and I marked halfway, same amount down, but on this side. So that when I have it upside down and I'm applying the glue, I can find halfway on the bottle. Even though it's upside down, I'll have to flip back over and see how much I've used. And then I have enough for the other side, and I've used as much glue as possible. The next part here that was confusing to me is these washers. You see where I marked them in green here and here. This one on the bottom is not like labeled. You see that one is washer P on that side, but this one that's not labeled, I thought it was one of these plastic washers, but it is not. It's the same as the other side metal washer. Those washers will look like this on one side of that pivot arm, and on the other side like this with the locking nut on it. The other pivot arm is held on with the same type of bolt, but it goes the other direction. And on the other side of it, instead of a washer, it has this spacer piece and that same locking nut at the bottom. So the next part I want to show you is where it says screw Z and rubber bumper Y that I have circled in red. Here's the bumper, and this is the screw, and it's self-tapping. So this goes on this edge of that arm. So they want you to measure 7.5 inches down from this point to the center of that hole. So this one, I measured it and I marked it, and I went ahead and pre-drilled a really small hole, even though you theoretically don't have to. So I put a lot of glue on this. I got it set up, felt pretty good about it, and I came back and I saw that there were some drips. So I very quickly got a hand towel, sprayed it with water, and tried to wipe the drips, and that was a mistake, because you see what happens there. I probably should have just left it, or maybe tried to wick it away with the paper towel, but I think what I did made it worse. So that's that. I'm stuck with it now. This part I wanted to show on video because this is really tight in here. It's hard to get it in here. So, I mean, I've already put it in there, so it's kind of stretched out, but you have to get this shim in here. So best way I figured to do it on the other one was this. So I've got that in there, and then this bolt goes the other direction, but I'm putting it through here basically just to hold that shim in place. Now once it's through, place this from the other side. And put this on this as it goes. And then I gotta get my tools to tighten that up. At this point, you're gonna realize you have some of these left, which are the Part U self-tapping screws, and then some of these left. When you put this housing cover on, you need 8 screws, but it only marks 2 of them as the self-tapping screws. You're not going to have enough to make all 8 the self-tapping screws, so for some reason, I guess you use 2 self-tapping screws, and the other 6 will be this one, even though it is not marked. So this is our fully functioning Vanish XL cover lift.